Alright, what is going on everyone? It is Foulplay here, and today we're going to be playing some humans. Now, I did play a couple of leagues with this last week, and the first league went extremely well, I went 4-1, and the second league went extremely poorly, I went 1-4. So I've made some changes to the deck after having a discussion with one of my viewers. Now, yeah, pardon me, I can't remember your name off the top of my head at the moment, but I might look it up and post it in the comments later on for everyone to get the shout out there. Alright, so we've actually removed all 4 copies of Charming Prince from our deck. I found that I didn't really like the card that much. I'm going to include 2 copies of Militia Bugler here. So a lot of the time, Bugler is going to do what I was wanting Charming Prince to do, but actually put the cards in your hand instead of just scrying it to the top. So it's going to be that card advantage, right? We're also including Unsettled Mariner because it's very good against removal type decks, particularly decks with like Lava Dart. I've gone down from 4 copies of Thalia to only 2. And this is probably the spiciest thing. We're including 2 copies of Tajik, however we say it, the Legion's End. So it's a legendary 3-mana creature with haste and mentor, and it has a static ability of prevent all non-combat damage that would be dealt to other creatures you control. It can also give first strike to itself until end of turn as well. So yeah, pretty nice keywords. So on top of that, we've also got the 2 copies of General as usual, and we've dropped down to 2 copies of Kitesail Freebooter as well, just to make room for this Bugler and Tajik here. With the sideboard, we got a little bit of a comprehensive thing here planned. We've got 3 Oriox for removal heavy decks, burn decks, price decks. We've got 3 Collectors for Tron type decks. We've got also potentially for against Skyclave Apparition decks as well with the Walking Ballista, right? We've got Skyclave Apparition in here that's going to remove a bunch of creatures, going to remove Heliod as well. Plague Engineer here for small creature decks like Elves or something like that, anything with low toughness, any tribal decks as well, and Knight of Autumn as an extra way to gain lives and interact with artifacts and enchantments. So that's the list we're going to be running here today. We're going to take it and we're going to jump into a league. Wait a minute, that's not what I'm looking for at all. That's the one. Cool. And yeah, I've had like a little bit of history playing humans, so back, I don't know, 3-4 years ago, when I actually played Paper Magic, I ended up building humans because it's obviously a fairly powerful deck. Okay, I'm just jumping that around so I can find the right screen for you all. And yeah, I don't think I ever really got used to playing it to its maximum efficiency back in the day. Oh wait, we're running a Bogle deck here apparently. Okay, I'm a fool. We're doing all of this backwards. But yeah, with humans, we son of a gun. That is very irritating. Oh well. We'll just get on with it because there's nothing we can do about it now. One of the things with Magic Online. But yeah, I think I've gotten a little bit better recently. Obviously, like your decisions with Freebooter, your decisions with Meddling Mage are pretty important. So if we keep like this hand and keep one that's dependent on Dryad Arbor here, we have like good access to auras and stuff. We've lost the Dire Aura on the play. It's already a bit slow. We have like Hate Armor Protection. I don't know. I just don't really like Dryad Arbor hands, honestly. Alright, so we'll keep this one. Bottom and bottom. And yeah, this looks decent enough to me. Interestingly enough, it's essentially us keeping a green-white deck, green-white version of Bogles here, rather than the Bant we're playing right now. Looks like my opponent's leaving up some counter magic here. If they're an Esper deck, I kind of want to play out this Glade Cover Scout here to play around Kaya's Guile, because that's a pretty big blowout. A lot of the time Bogles is going to be just about you avoiding the blowout, because it destroys your resources really hard. Of course, if my opponent untaps into like a Bontu's Life Threatening, we're going to be a little bit sad about that. Alright, Hyena Umbra first. See what they do. That resolves. Ethereal Armor also resolves. So essentially we missed 3 points of damage by delaying the Ethereal Armor return. I'm not going to attack with this because then like it just gets blocked by a Snapcaster Mage. And they could still have an Edict effect. They could have Liliana of the Veil, for example. Force Negation may or may not do something. Ah, Plains. Look, Esper. We called it. Alright, we go to combat. And we go to our attacks. And it looks like the opponent's stopping us before we get to attack. The old Cryptic Command. Alright, there we go. Alright, we'll leave all this in hand. We'll pass the turn. See if he can repeat the effect. Second Cryptic. No. Alright, we'll just attack like this then. So Kaya's Guile will put up a chump blocker and gain him some life. He might make a sack a creature as well. Here I'm going to want to post-combat the Aqueous form. I know if we pre-combat that we win, but if we lose it to Cryptic Command, it's arguably worse than just getting tempered out from one attack. Hopefully we actually hit our third land drop so that we can, you know, hold up this Force Negation real time. But our opponent's also going to have access to up to 6 mana here. Alright, they're going for a Teferi. We'll say no, and then we'll just attack for the win. So Force of Negation blowout there, I'm sure. Cool. Alright, so they did sort of know about the blue from Aqueous Form and the mana confluence then, but guess if they don't play around it, they don't play around it. So against Esper, Soul Guide Lantern is reasonable. I don't really see us wanting any other sideboard cards. As for cards to take out, might just be Staggering Insight. I could maybe -1 Aqueous Form over a Staggering Insight. Yeah, let's do that. So 2 Soul Guide Lanterns in, 1 Aqueous out, 1 Staggering Insight out. Yeah, this is where it gets a bit harder now that he has knowledge of Force and Negation. You know, it can be precarious, right? Cool. It's mulligan. Alright, we'll keep this one. It's got lots of creatures. Creatures are good in this matchup, right? Invisible Stalker gets that evasiveness. It's pretty bad on tempo though. I think we're going to keep it though. Keep it like this. I think it's slightly better than having the second hexproof creature. Cool. That's bouncing all over the place. Alright, mana confluence, scout and pass. So the problem is I sort of want to load up onto the invisible stalker, but that delays us from a turn of attacking, drawing cards, etc, etc. What we can probably do is get a bit tricky and fake the stubborn denial, so maybe I'll play like a little bit slower here and just get an attack in for 2. Like if we play Staggering Insight, it's just going to get mana leaked essentially, and that's not the best for us. Kind of wish I kept that Bogle now. Alright, Curious Obsession is a good place to start. We get the attack, we get the draw card. Definitely happy about those things. Alright, looks like he's got the Kai's Guile, and he's not respecting the Stubborn Denial. Interesting. Also, he's not respecting the like hardcast Force of Negation either. Alright. See what he can back it up with. Maybe we ditch the Hyena Umbra instead of the Bogle. Be a really good spot for Surgical Extraction, just to take away all copies of Kai's Guile. Alright, let's see what they do about this. Looks about right. Alright, we'll get an attack for 2 now instead. Tingus, how you going, man? What's going on, my man? Bing and Bong. I hear you're a friendly fish these days, man. How's your day been? Have you been starting that rumble climb yet? Now that they've announced a nerf, it's time to start the climb, right? I'm just gonna concede to this one here. He's holding up a million like card advantage spells here. Alright, that's fine. We get the game 3. We get the play this time. Hopefully we get a good 7. I think we just run it back. You're too lazy for rank? You'll get around to it eventually. Yeah. I mean, I had the day off work yesterday, so I actually played a bit of ranked myself and sort of went kind of 50 and 50, right? It wasn't terrible, wasn't amazing. Hand's good enough. We're going to keep here. Being on the play, obviously, is a massive help for our tempo here. Pretty much means we get to resolve the Curious Obsession. Opponent mulligans to 6. An Esper card, an Esper deck with some disadvantage. I like to see it. Yeah, it was weird. It like placed me in Silver 3. Obviously, I was Gold last season. It placed me in Silver 3. And then I played some games and played like 2 games afterwards, and then it just, without promos or anything, just promoted me straight to Silver 1, and I was like, that's odd, but I guess I'll take it. Alright, I'm going to attack like this, play the Bogle post-combat. I'd prefer to get that underneath the counterspell than my Hyena Umbra underneath the counterspell. There's no interrank promos anymore? Oh, really? I didn't realize that. So annoying you get going from bronze, silver, gold. Oh, okay, so it's just when you go to the division as opposed to... Or when you go to the tier as opposed to the division within the tier. That makes sense. The more you know. Looks like a counterspell for the Hyena Umbra here. Opponent wants none of that. Here comes the mana leak. Alright, well, as long as he doesn't have engineered explosives, I'll be reasonably happy here. I guess I shouldn't hard shift this turn. If I draw a Hyena Umbra, I'll probably play it. We draw a Rancor. I'm okay with cracking here, I think. Get a Rancor under counter magic. The Bogle's getting sacked anyway. We have the Dryad Arbor as well, so this is all fine. PPL Balloon Tower Defense is calling you. Okay, be back later. See you later, man. Good luck with your tower defense. Alright, so opponent can obviously have the Kaya's Gull, make me sack one, gain some life, delay the game a little bit longer. We draw the Force of Negation, great draw. Go for the Daybreak, that's technically lethal. Go to attacks. Attack for a juicy 12 points of damage. And opponent with Ether Gust, so, I mean, that card's probably pretty good against these tokens. I'll put it on top. We still get to draw that this turn. Can just go ahead and replay it. Opponent's on 1. I mean, I don't see how he's getting out of it at this point. Three mana and Archmage's Charm, sure. Opponent chooses not to target us with the Archmage's Charm and concedes. Alright, so game 1 goes to the Bogle player against the super scary Esper control deck. And we're getting straight into the next one. Straight into the next round. Alright, so here we are for match number 2. We lost the Darrell this time versus C. Deegan. And this hand has no creature we cannot keep. This hand we definitely can. I'll ditch a Daybreak Coronet and we can get into it. Oh, the old Turn 1 Thoughtseize, eh? I guess you get a Bogle. You can go after the Coronet if you want. Goes after the Coronet. Plays the Mishra's Bauble. The double Mishra's Bauble. Okay. Well, that graveyard's pretty full for like a Gurmag Angler at this point. My guess would be Shadow deck. Find a Rancor. Rancor is a way to push damage, so I'm not too upset about that. We'll see how good of a turn they have this time. So we see 4 colors. They play a Tarmogoyf. Alright, that's big, that's scary. We miss on our land drops, so that's unfortunate. I think I'll play into the Liliana of the Veil here, because we're already like behind on tempo at this point. So like, obviously the Ethereal Llama is just the most diverse effect in the hand now that we have 2 lots of trample. Take a hit. Opponent can like fetch Shock into a Shadow or something. Scourge of the Skyclaves. Alright, well that's like extremely scary. Yep. Strangely enough, worst land in the deck that we could have hit in that spot. So Bogle off blue. Now we can play an Aura, but we don't have That many good auras to play. I'll play the Hyena Umbra. I'll pass the turn. Scourge is horrendously scary here. I think we just lose this game off being on the draw. Opponent's just got that bit too much tempo, you know. And this island has been the most awkward island I think I've ever had with Aura Hexproof. Scourge gets like really big this turn. They could fetch Shock it, making it 10 power, and that just kills us. No Daybreak and no planes, no double planes. I just have to hope my opponent misplays. Alright, well, we can't ever tap that again. There's the Shadow. Dies. Oh, goodness gracious. Maybe that was like a little bit of a swagger play for my opponent then. We literally have lethal here if we could take 1 extra point of damage, but we don't. We can't. So we're going to be falling short. Cool. He's got Drown and Lock anyway. That's enough information for us, right? Alright, so in Shadow matchups, we want our Path to Exiles. I think our Force of Negations are probably going to be looking to be removed. Or at least some number of them. On the draw, I'm going to want the full 4 to protect myself from the turn 1 Thoughtseers. But on the play, it's just bad bad attrition-wise, because you 2 for 1 yourself to stop the effect. We could look at some graveyard hate like Soul Guide Lantern, but that only hits Tarmogoyf. If our opponent has Lurrus, it has to be a main deck Lurrus. Because he didn't have a companion then. It's possible he has main deck Lurrus, because we did see Mish's Bowls. Let's bring in a 1 of Soul Guide Lantern and take out all our Force of Negations. Force of Negation is like not the counterspell we want here. We want Stubborn Denial more, but because that's good against Drown in the Lock and Team of Battle Rage, we're Force of Negation's really only good against Thoughtseize in this matchup. We have a Dryad Arbor hand, and obviously that's not good enough. We have nothing. Cool, we'll keep this. Bottom, and keep this. This way, like, if we get Thoughtseized, which we probably are, we've got the best combination of cards. We've got card advantage, and then we've got, like, evasiveness. He probably takes the evasiveness. If we hit land, we can play double Curious Obsession and get ourselves back into the game. Because mulliganing that hard is just, yeah, not going to work. Alright, turn 1, discard every turn. What's the play, opponent? What's the play? Wow, he goes after the Curious Obsession. I'm surprised. Aqueous Form is like unblockable evasiveness is how we beat these decks that we're versing. So Curious Obsession here will attack. Fortunately, the Mana Confluence is going to deal a lot of damage to ourselves, and we don't have life gain. Let's see what we can find though. Cool. I'm flooding out on creatures. Big rip. So our opponent obviously is holding up Drown in the Lock here. Let's just go to attacks and look to draw a card. think I'll play the Rancor. Missing on land drops really disrupts our options of what we can do. Old Stubby D. Old Kozilek's return. Yeah, sure, whatever. Play out another guy. Is that all you got? Is that all you got? I mean, we know we don't have mana, so... Any creature from this point is probably quite scary for us, though. 5 power Death Shadow, definitely scary for us. Aqueous form. What's the response? Nothing. So we attack for 1, Team of Battle Rage. So his creature will go to 6. Team of Battle Rage is 12 damage, which doesn't kill us. Leaves us dead to fetch Shock Tamer. If we fetch Shock ourselves, we put ourselves to 12. That's not great. I think we just attack. Wait. Second Kozilek's return. Come on, man. That's not on, dude. That is not on. Fucking. He's like so lucky that I didn't actually curve out in mana here, because these Kozilek's return would do literally nothing in that spot. Oh, that is so frustrating. Alright. We'll take some damage. We're dead to Team Battle Rage at this point, but we need to be trying to hit with Daybreak Coronet next turn. Yes, him taking Curious Obsession suddenly makes a whole bunch more sense. If he's just like banking on me just never drawing another aura. And getting rewarded. Well, at this point, we're pretty much just dead. We can Dryad Arbor out and, you know, that's game. GG, well played. Unlucky. Well, I think we definitely lost our own inconsistencies as opposed to whatever our opponent was doing them, because I really don't think that's a good game plan to take against Bogles. I think that's a bit greedy. But hey, it paid off, so he's the one that's laughing. So match number 3, we're seeing Deep Silver here. And we lost the die roll again. Opponent on the play. No companions revealed as of yet. Apart from our own. So on the play, like a Stalker hand is kind of... sorry, on the draw, a Stalker hand is pretty slow. Got a really good combination of auras. If this is like a burn deck, we're pretty happy. I'll just go ahead and keep. We can't actually cast Daybreak Coronet yet. Triome. There's the Confluence. There's the Daybreak Caster. So this is probably an Uro Omnath deck. Opponent misses a land drop. I'll go ahead and take that opportunity to play out our guy. Because technically I should be going on the Temple Garden and saving 1 life there. Opponent misses his second land drop. Oh boy, I am very sorry right now. Can't imagine a 2-mana Edict effect that's going to do anything too significant here. So we'll just super extend. A really good board state. Always yes. Always yield. Find a Staggering Insight and Aqueous Form. That unblockable, a little bit redundant here. Opponent concedes. Alright, well, we definitely got lucky there, because our opponent literally didn't get to do anything. This could be a matchup where like Torpor Orb is good, Soul Guide and Lantern is good, or Deafening Silence or Force of Vigor are good. I think I might bring in like 2 Path to Exiles. I've seen a lot of these decks running around with Platinum Empyrean. And that's like a sideboard plan that they have for against me. So I think I'm going to play around that with a couple of Force of Negation coming in. And I can't imagine our opponent has a huge number of blockers, so I'm just going to take out 2 Aqueous Form for them. And yeah, like, if this is like a Scapeshift deck, it still hits the Dryad of Lycian Grove or the Omnath. If it's, yeah, like, Path is likely to have a target, even if it's not the most amazing target. Alright, I'll keep this one. Trio in tapped. Alright, this is flashback to game 1, I think, at the moment. Just go ahead and get our Hallowed Fountain here. It's slightly better to get the Hallowed Fountain over the Temple Garden there. He already knows we're Bant. And if we draw a second Curious Obsession, we're definitely going to want to play both of them, right? Alright, I'll get like Temple Garden here as well. Just in case we hit our Rancors. We might have a problem with jump blockers, and I just want to, you know, make sure I can cast any spells that I draw. It's not a matchup where we need to conserve. Guess I should probably update the Stream Decker deck list. I'll do that in sideboarding, maybe. Did not think of that part. Opponent, Dryad of Lycian Grove. I mean, like we called it. Extra land. Extra. Read all about it. Alright. Daybreak. I don't see a world where our opponent actually blocks this attack. So we're right about them potentially having Dryad of Lycian Grove, but obviously we just listed off like 300 different creatures that they could possibly have, and they did have one of them, so. We're back up to 20, opponent on 10. We've got like double Force of Negation at this point. Rancor seems good. With Staggering Insight here, we potentially have the win. I think I just like having Force of Negation up though. There's potential for my opponent to Cryptic Command me there. Alright, third Force of Negation. I think we have this one. Unless this Dryad absolutely goes to town. Lightning Helix, sure. Now that we like hit our Rancor as well, like his block is way less effective, right? Oh, we're going for the Scapeshift or the Prime Time. That's 7 mana. Scapeshift. Alright, Hardcast. Opponent concedes. Too good, people. We're too good. Alright, let's have a look at this Stream Deck. I guess we can check what it's set to and see if it needs updating. Yeah, it's set to like humans at the moment. So I'll just get up a deck list and update all of that. I'm pretty sure this is like the same as the last deck list I used, but who knows. Oh, we found the match as well. Bargain. Alright, match number 4. We won the Daro. We're versing the Wrath. Get ready for the Raffening. And this hand has like no supporting auras because like we can't cast Daybreak Coronet unless there's another aura down. So this is just a mulligan. Sounds a lot better. I'm going to keep. I might ditch the... redundant copy of Ethereal Armor. I mean, in the blind, I think this is probably the most consistent thing. We lose like a point of damage, maybe 2. We'll lead on Scout because Bogle pitches to Force. Even if Force isn't in hand, that's a good habit to get into. It's a Tron deck, so yeah. Totem Armor can come in handy. We're really going to need to hit this land drop. Alright, rip. Sack for 2. 2 lonely points of damage. Opponent with the Tron mana. Let's see if we can deny the Ancients of the Sylvan Scrying here and keep them off Tron that way. Usually denying the mana is more efficient than going after like the big spells afterwards, because the big spells just keep coming. But if they miss on mana, then you know you're in with a shot. Alright, so nice attack for 6. Hits Forest. Has he got the follow-up effect? He's got the Expedition map, so we're potentially facing an Ugin next turn. When it gets the power plant, we get the Daybreak. Let's go. Alright, we put them to 2. Let's see what they have. Is it really Ugin, man? Fuck off. Alright, opponent's too good. Expedition map off the top there. He would have turn 1 Expedition mapped over the Chromatic Sphere or Star if he had it. Unlucky. GG. Opponent outplayed us with their Ugin. So obviously these cards are good. None of the rest of our sideboard really does very much at all. We can probably look to remove 1 to 2 Aqueous Forms. I might like just hedge it at 1, a Staggering Insight, and an Invisible Stalker. And yeah, we'll take that out for that. Get into it. So yeah, like this matchup can be pretty tricky, really. Like honestly, like with all their big mana stuff, it's pretty hard. They can obviously have creatures like Wormcoil Engine that whatever. Like the auras in this hand are great, but the Dryad Arbor is so slow. We essentially put ourselves on the draw with 1 land by doing that and keeping that hand. Alright, we'll keep this one. Ditch. Done. Lead on the Scout. We'll use the Horizon Canopy so we can get Hallowed Fountain off of that one. Bogle pitches to Force, obviously. Also pitches... Oh, well, pitches to both Forces, really, right? Opponent turn 1 map every time with the 7. I think like Tron's at the point where it's just like too consistent and has too many like really big powerful cards that you could really call this a favorable matchup. I think we're probably like somewhere between 35 and 40% chance to win the overall game or overall match, sorry. Opponent map fetching last Tron land. Guess we can just like sort of fake a stubborn denial here or something. Keep him honest. Attack for 7. Can't Ugin this turn. It might be worth the point of damage to just have this Slippery Bogle on the board as well. Just to casual all as dust, people. Just to casual all as dust. Like, as I was saying, like, they just have too much stuff that's good against us that's in their 75. Like, we're so not favored. It's literally not even funny. Sure. Like, I mean, how difficult was that? He kept to 7, had Expedition map to assemble the Tron, and then he had all his dust. Now he's got Oblivion Stone. We're just boned. It's not happening. We need our opponent to have a more awkward hand than this, or for us to have like a very key force of negation there, which obviously we did not have. However, we do hit land. We can lure us plus totem armor, which is something. Go after our opponent's worm coil engine, which is also something. Like, if he has like literally anything else though, we're just in so much trouble. I think we take this and look to let him gain the life. Look to get the Oblivion Stone on top of the Worm Coil engine, because we're not beating Worm Coil plus Oblivion Stone. We need to deal with that. It's just not happening. So, like, he'll probably pop it in response to eat up the Hyena Umbra, but this is literally our best line. It also gives our opponent, like, a chump blocker or 2 chump blockers, so that makes things super awkward too. On the Ethereal Armor, go ahead and play that one. Can now play out the Daybreak Coronet. Attack for a bunch. Alright, opponent understandably just trading off the Death Touch token there. We'll see what sort of nonsense he hits during this turn. He's starting off with a star, so I don't think it's in hand. He doesn't just have like an Ulamog to cast. Although if he does, he might not have the mana to do it, right? Gets the tower. Cool. Hard game. Really hard game. Well, we battled through an Aula's Dust and an Oblivion Stone, but the Ugin was just too much. So, like, I mean, I think we pretty much all can come to the conclusion now that Bogles needs something more powerful than what it has. I'm literally splashing blue for 7 card draw auras that give stats and force a negation with an unblockable creature, and it's still not enough. Like, we just need more powerful auras. Either we need, like, a 1 mana 3 power aura so we can actually turn 3 our opponents, because, like, every deck in Modern at the moment just seems to be a turn 3 deck, essentially. As opposed to a turn 4 deck. Yeah, like, Bogles is just falling so far behind power-wise, it's not funny. Still, we're doing the best we can with what we've got. Which, I mean, like, a lot of these effects are really cool, but our opponents just get a whole bunch of main deck interaction with us, pardon me. Yeah, they just get, like, main deck interaction, like Blast Zone, like Kaya's Guile, Supreme Verdict, fucking Heliod, Infinite Life. Like, there's Skyclave Apparition. There's just, like, way too much main deckable stuff that makes Bogle really, really awkward. Alright, match number 5 here. Going into it, we won the die roll with our roll of 2 versus our opponent's roll of 1. Got the old fucking Dryad Arbor hand again, so we'll throw that one into the bin. And we'll keep this, like, land-heavy one with, yeah, okay, I guess. Really not that excited about this. Ditch the island. Opponent mulligans to 6 as well. Good news is we'll be playing humans next, which is not, like, super underpowered. It's maybe not tier 1, but it's not super underpowered. Make our opponent believe we're just green-white for the time being, because, you know, why not? Why not? Opponent, Spire Bluff Canal. Is this the Living End deck? Is this Storm? Guess in the comment section below. Let me know what you think this is off of just Soul Scour Mage. Okay. It's prowess. That's fine. We can see if our opponent wants to trade a Metamorphose for a Hana Umbra. Alright, land go. I'd really like to hit some like auras, not more mana. Opt is fine. Opt is not the Metamorphose, which is probably easier to counter. Opponent scries bottom, no land yet. Okay, looks like they missed a land drop. So that's something at least. This is essentially the slowdown at this point. Like, let's be real. Opponent missed a land drop. This is gonna be the story of like Screw beats Flood. Because like he would have kept that hand because it had amazing cards in it, and you know he's on the draw. He's likely to hit a second land drop. Literally, it's gonna be the story of Screw beats Flood. So we could potentially get Metamorphose and stop the Stormwing Entity here, but then we don't have much after that. I think we're better off just letting him have the Stormwing Entity and holding up Force of Negations. Because again, we're not drawing any auras, we're just flooding out, so... Force of Negations like can be awkward like this if they're in your opening hand. If you have multiple in your opening hand and you don't have your Curious Obsession, you don't have your Staggering Insight, you don't have a way to replace them. Stormwing Entity scries one top, one bottom, more land. Cool. Alright, so now we're just going to hardcast some Force of Negations and slow our opponent down until maybe, just maybe, we draw something. Perfect. Show me that Lava Dart. I'd love to exile a Lava Dart. Obviously, we can't block. We'll take 5. We're going like super low at this point as well. Light up the stage. What the fuck is this? What? Oh, I'm so screwed, man. Finally hit a creature. Attacks. I mean, like, literally if we draw any aura, we're in with a shot. But this is fucked. Absolutely. We are extremely disadvantaged to do anything here. Alright, show us your instant speed tricks. They're probably good enough considering this 4 damage is going to go to 6 and we're taking damage here. I guess we like cast alternate cost so we don't die, and then if he's got literally nothing else, Daybreak Coronet is good. Like he might only have Light Up the Stage or like the Experimental Frenzy or whatever the 2 mana card is they're playing now. Like we might survive and have a Daybreak. GG. Cool, well, we like drew ridiculously poorly there. I know we didn't keep an Aura Dense hand, but we literally drew 3 lands and a creature in our 4 draws. There's like matchups where that's fine, and times where you draw cards and that's fine, but obviously that is the exception, not the rule. So we have Deafening Silence and Path to Exile, and these cards are extremely good in this matchup. We have to be aware of effects like Kozilek's Return, maybe Counter Magic. We're taking out Aqueous Form. It doesn't add any toughness for Kozilek's Return, and the unblockable is not that relevant. If I had Flying, I'd probably leave it in to block their flying creatures, but you know, it doesn't. So we'll take that out. We'll take out a Stalker, and like I might take out a Force of Negation or maybe a land. I'll take out a Force of Negation. We'll go with that. Get into it. Cool, well at least we have a clock with this hand, so we're gonna like deal a lot of damage to ourselves, but we'll keep. At least we like deal a lot of damage though, right? We got like 5 damage here. We can pitch Invisible Stalker to the Force of Negation. So opponent like can probably extrapolate how unlucky we were with our draws that game, because literally we played a turn 2 Hyena Umbra and only folded like over the lands. Swift Spear attack, yeah, that's about right. Cool. Play our things, look to get like some description of tempo happening here. Maybe just once. Alright, Force of Negation has no power here. Burn it with a big attack for 2. We draw a Breeding Pool, let's go! Crack our White Source. Find Hyena Umbra, can't cast Hyena Umbra. Alright. What? What am I paying 3 for? Go away. Attack for 5. Keep the aggressive game plan. Force and negate pretty much anything at this point. Like Lava Dart or Manamorphose are just getting force and negated. We're actually close to killing our opponent. Lightning Bolt deals 3, puts us to 10. He has 4 power. The 4 power, not that exciting. So that'll put us to 6. So we'll let that one resolve. We'll see what follows it up, because we want to counter the Manamorphose or the Lava Dart if we can here. Fuck. So opponent probably knows their life total is getting low. I think they attack and leave Stormwing Entity on blocks. Yeah, okay. Fair play. I think we're just dead as well, unless we hit Staggering Insight. Deafening Silence, right on time, man. Right on time. So we can Hyena Umbra, force the chump block, and then we can't play Deafening Silence, but we have Force of Negation. And pretty much dead to like any spell. It's a quick league. This is a 1 hour league. Alright, have something greedy like Manamorphose, please. I need you to eat up your mana. Or else there's no hope. We could like shock in the Breeding Pool, but then we're just taking 2 points of unnecessary damage and probably losing anyway. Because like a single spell kills us at that point. This point it's actually really close. If he's got nothing here, like he goes Fiery Eyelet into... Fuck. Into Cycle? Wow. Okay, well we got like very lucky there. I think we bring in the extra force here. Maybe take out a land. Maybe, just maybe, we'll see some life gain this time. Alright, we'll submit. We'll get into it. Well, we have life gain. We have a land that deals a lot of damage to us. I think on the balance of things, we only have 1 land, but I think on the balance of things, this is a keep. And if we lose, we lose. Like, we're probably not beating the best prowess hand, but against some of the weaker ones, we might be okay. If he, like, instant speeds the Kozilek's return, that will be, like, absolutely fair play. And, he can actually get us pretty hard. Alright, so Stalker off the top. We get 1 more hit to try and find a land. Sure. Guess I shouldn't hard yield. They might have mutagenic growth. It's not like a great target for any of this shit though. Okay. Let's do what gets us out of the range of a Kozilek's return, which is high in Umbra plus staggering insights, so it's slightly less damage, but if I can get past Kozilek's return, the quicker the better, like, right? Yeah. Oh, what's he doing with the scry? Scry's bottom. Go on, show me that Metamorphose. Give me a reason. Give me a reason. Let me have tempo this once. Every time it's the Stormwing, man. Fucking hell. That's like way too good, man. Just Metamorphose. I don't even know if my opponent's running Metamorphose, dude. Like... Or we could just like break and never do anything. That's good too. On the draw, one lander. I mean, our opponent also had the unluckiness game one of having like a one lander on the draw. I guess we counter this. Literally countering anything is good at the moment. Yield to these crappy triggers. Obviously, we have to go for a block here if we can. See what happens. He might like have another Stormwing. There's like literally nothing we can do at this point. It's just bad draws. Bad draws, bad beats. We get staggering insight online, we gain like an extra 5 life and things like that. You know, we're in with the shot with winning it. If we just get like screwed on land, then you know, nothing's really gonna help us. But you know, opponent got screwed game 1, we got screwed game 2, and that's all she wrote. As yeah, for the deck, like I don't know. At the moment, it's let's change the screen here for you all. So at the moment, it feels like every time I don't have Torpor, I verse hate bear decks. Every time I do have Torpor, I verse non hate bear decks, like everything we saw here today. So like I'm really not sure how I feel about Torpor. I think maybe we can look at removing it for something. Like most of the games we lost here were due to our own inconsistencies, not our opponents going crazy. But like having said that, I think like Stubborn Denial would just kind of be nice again. So maybe I'll go down to like 1 or 2 copies of Torpor Orb and bring in 2 Stubborn Denial and try that on Thursday instead. Main deck I'm like happy with. I think I'm still happy with Aqueous Form being in here, even though it's got Dissynergy with Invisible Stalker. Doesn't add any power. Like the Unblockable is like really good for our creatures. Maybe we could -1 for an Arcane Flight. Like this is getting like super nuanced, but I think we can -1 for an Arcane Flight, and that's as far as we can go with it. Yeah, so that's the Bogle deck. I'm going to go and I'm going to get into a human league here, but I'm going to take a quick bathroom break. So there's the deck, and I'll be back in like a minute. I'm just going to run a pre-roll ad, an ad so people don't get pre-rolls, right? So just a little quick 1-minute ad, and I'll be back. Alright, and we have returned. Let's just quickly update our stream decker, and then I'm going to get into a deck tech, guys. Hey, puppy. How you going? Big old sook. Bloop, bloop. Alright, and that one's all added and uploaded and ready to go. So what's going on, everyone? It's Foul Play here. We're back again. We're playing some humans this time. We did go through a quick deck tech before, but I guess we'll do the same thing again. So we got 4 of all the usuals, like Champion of the Parish, Thali's Lieutenant, Noble Hierarch, Meddling Mage, with the 4th being up here, including Unsettled Matter in this league, and of course 4 of Mantis Rider. We've got 2 Thalia, 2 Kitesail Freebooter, 2 Militia Bugler, 2 General Kudroy, and 2 Tajik. So Tajik can help protect us against lightning bolt effects like in the Prowess decks, as will Mariner. It's also good against like Jeskai control decks, right? With Snapcaster bolts and things like that. We've got Reflector Mage here as well, which bounces creatures. Bugler will look at the top of our library, and I can reveal a creature with power of 2 or less and put it into my hand. General Kudroy anthems the board and interacts with graveyards. You can sack 2 humans to destroy a creature with power of 4 or greater. With the sideboard, after a bit of discussion with one of my viewers on YouTube, I'll link him in the comments. I can't remember his name at the moment, apologies. We got Auriok Champion here. We're bringing in Collector for these Tron decks, Heliod Company as well. Got Skyclave Apparition in here, all round pretty powerful card. Knight of Autumn, bit of life gain, bit of artifact and enchantment destruction, and Plague Engineer for a few of those tribal type decks or decks that run on 1 toughness. That is the decks, people. Let's make sure we actually change to the humans deck this time, because last time when I loaded in, it loaded the Bogles deck and I did the entire wrong deck, and it's very upsetting. Alright. So, what's going on? I should have enough play points here. Do I not have enough play points? Are you kidding me? Didn't I just 2-3 that last league? Yeah, 2-3. I swear I would have enough play points. Oh well. Give me a sec. I'll fix this one up. I might just like sell some of my fucking cardboard that's on here. Sure, we'll get rid of like 1 Skyclave Apparition. Actually, I might get rid of an Auriok Champion instead. Honestly, like we don't need much as far as like trade value is concerned. Sorry about this. I thought I was gonna have enough to go into this, but here we are. So our champion comes into the trade. 17 tickets apparently. Man, I should sell more of these. Alright. Confirm. And we're good. We can go and get into the league now. Bet I'm gonna get that fucking notification that it's left the conversation. Like, the most pointless notification in the universe. That is not me being melodramatic. That is 100% accurate. I don't care what you all say. Alright, so here we are for match number 1. Lost the die roll versus Scipius. Opponent has indeed chosen to play first, so it's probably not 8-rack we're versing. They are a Lurus deck. We've got a... I mean, like, I think I'd probably keep this on the play, but on the draw I'm just going to mulligan it. This time, at least we have something to do at 1 mana. I'm going to keep... I think we can get away with ditching a land here. Just because, like, I'm afraid of discard and fatal pushes and things like that, so... Excuse me. Sacred Foundry, Swiss Beer, attack. Alright, well, looks like a burn deck. We'll name Human. We'll play our Human. We'll click on it because apparently that's how Magic Online wants to work. Alright, so that's all clicked down on. Pass the turn. So obviously, like, Lava Dart's very good against us here. Searing Blaze. Oh, it's just Burn. Burn with Luris. I don't think Prowess runs Searing Blaze. Bugler's a good draw. Click on our Mariner. Blue. White. Tap here for some reason. Play our guy. Pass the turn. Already we've taken a bunch of damage off of that, though. Bolt, no surprises. Iglesias not going in our face. Our opponent's going to have to sink some mana into this as well. Then our Mantis Riders can hopefully do the work from next turn onwards. And we'll look to, like, start blocking with our Mantis Riders as well, if given the option. Dahlia, well, you're late. Where were you? Where have you been? Are you kidding me? The second one tapped for colorless? Oh, the first one tapped for colorless. Cool. Bloop, 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 bloop. I wish, like, on top of it not doing this, it wasn't so laggy when it did it. That would also be extremely nice. Alright, we actually get that damage off, so that's good. 100% blocking. So sort of like matchup where having an Aether Vial hand is going to potentially be quite helpful. Wow. We just eat a Swiss Spear. I'll take it. Skullcrack face. Yep. So because he threw that lightning bolt at our creature, he's like also gonna struggle on damage here a little bit. I guess we just go for double Mantis Rider and see if they can pull through for us. Attack for 6. If your opponent wants to cast spells, they will do damage to themselves. Cycle Sunbait Canyon. Alright, good news, people. Not dead just yet. Dead to, I guess, Bolt plus Boris Charm, though. But cycle second Sunbait Canyon. Alright. I think Mantis Rider's a pretty strong card, people. I'll just offer up 1. Opponent concedes. Alright, too easy, people. Let's go. Mantis Rider Tribal. Loving it. Oriok Champion's, like, not super amazing here. It's also not, like, super awful. Like, honestly, we have, like, all these cards in the sideboard, which could play a positive role here. I would say our Kite Sail Freeboot is normally good, but it's pretty vulnerable to removal. I think we can minus, like, 2 to 3 Noble Hierarchs. Potentially. We're probably not bringing in all of this. Let's be honest. So Tajik seems like pretty fantastic here. General's okay, but I think we can -1. Skyclave Apparition is probably realistically just way too slow. Yeah, maybe like another Hierarch. The Bugler are kind of slow. We're bringing in stuff at 3 mana anyway. I guess like Bugler might be better than a Reflector Mage. That's 6 in, 6 out. I guess we'll take it. We'll go with that. Alright, this looks good. Relatively pain-free hand with some pretty good creatures. Oh, turn 1 Gobby Guide. Okay, that's no good. Meddling Mage on top. Good draw. Name human. Vile. No Lightning Bolt or Lava Dart here. You have no power here, opponent. I'd really like if this hand like somehow had a Thalia as well. Okay, just randomly smash to smithereens. What? You gotta be kidding me, man. That's not good. That's not what you want. So bizarre. Alright, Unsettled Mariner. He brought that in. We've got 4 copies of Aether Vial. He brought that in for 4 copies of Aether Vial. I think just a Lightning Bolt is better, or a Lava Dart, or whatever you want to call it. Lightning Helix. Like, all these cards seem better to me. Thalia on top. Can you get loaded up on 2 mana creatures here? Searing Blaze isn't going to work well if that's what your line is. Skewer the Critics. Paying for it. Yeah, sure. Whatever. Go for it. 2 cards in your hand. Play out a Thalia, pass a turn. We'll try and, you know, protect it from next turn onwards. Just like all the removal. Okay. I mean, I'm trashing the Smash to Smithereens, but it's absolutely destroyed us here, so maybe our opponent's onto something. So we can like 3 mana plus 2 mana, and we haven't seen any of the Lightning Bolts yet, so I think Lightning Bolts a fair just guess, and then we just try to get them. Now I can play this guy and go to 1. And that'll have to be good enough. I can't really attack with this. I need to like block or block. Alright. You got a spell that isn't Lightning Bolt? Of course you do. Yeah, hard game. Alright. Well, if we could stick a creature, that would have been amazing, but I mean, opponent with the Skewer to Critics. I guess maybe we look at removing Aether Vial now for some reason, bring back in Noble Hierarch, and maybe bringing back in our General as well. And yeah, we'll go with that. If they're wanting to fucking Skewer the Critics, they could next level us and board it out. But honestly, if they're boarding it in, I'm not going to give them enough credit to be boarding it out. Let's go. Yeah, let's go. Come at me, burn player. Come at me. Click. Creature or burn spell? Rift Bolt. Oh, opponent. The hurt is gonna happen. Creature. We lose out on like a life gain here, but we start growing the champion of the parish, which I ultimately think is more important. You could also like Mantis Rider attack and then just lose it to a lightning bolt or helix or skewer the critics. I think I prefer this. Goodbye, champion of the parish. You served us well. You saved us 3 life. I guess technically 1. So you got the path to exile already? Anyone else smelling a path to exile here? Alright. What's the response to that opponent? Cool. Well, I mean, we caught it. Maybe I should actually get the island there. No, it doesn't make a difference. You're really spending that on a noble hierarch. What? I am so confused right now. Hello. Yes, I would love my life gain. Thank you, opponent. So, like, reads on Lightning Bolt, Lightning Helix. Overall, I think Mantis Rider is the stronger creature, so I'm going to go ahead and slow roll this Mantis Rider here. Get our life gain, interact with the graveyard, all of that. Always yes, always you, yes. Cool, opponent, 2 cards in hand, you still can't attack. They do have the companion advantage though, there is that little edge. We'll see if the burn players are spawning Kozilek's return now. Lure us to hand. Hello. Hello. Don't mind you at all. Alright, that one needs to be blue. Wait, we can't cast Mantis Rider. Okay, never mind. Red, white, 1. This whole time I've been planning on playing my Mantis Rider and it's not even possible. Tax. So we can't use unclaimed territory to activate this either. Think he is going after the creature? He is! Amazing. So the moment we're winning the race, come on opponent, there's no world where I'm not blocking. If you have Kozilek's return, you're going to cast it anyway. Burn decks don't run Stomp, and if you are, that's even more confusing. Luris, really? Dahlia's Lieutenant is a card. I mean, we start by cycling Horizon Canopy. Alright, well, we can finally cast this guy. So we'll go ahead and do that. Gain a life. Thought we said always yes to you. Dex. I think it's because I tried to stop the cycle of Horizon Canopy end step. If we got the Horizon Canopy cycled off end step, that turn we could have Mantis Rider plus Thalia as Lieutenant, which probably would have been game. Alright, gaining you 3 life, whatever. I don't care. It's all yours. A way to deal with Lurrus would be nice. I guess we could have left in like 2 Skyclave apparitions. Black, white, 1. Boom. Trigger. That thing can go away. Alright, if opponent does not have removal here, we go to like an extremely good spot. Attack for 5. Lurrus is not looking so smug anymore. Wait, this says pro black. We can block Lurrus with it. I think I missed a block last turn. Alright, opponent concedes. Cool. Wacky card choices. He's probably got 3 Smash to Smithereens in hand there. We next leveled him by taking them out. Look at us go. Alright. I mean, that was like a very odd game. I completely understand controlling board states, but with burn decks, I found that if you try and control the board state with all your burn spells and you don't leave any left for the face, you just wind up falling damage short. And especially with a hate card like Auriok Champion on the battlefield, that only made life harder for my opponent. With Pro S, like, controlling the board state is way more reasonable because you can be slower. You can afford to be slower. Your creatures deal more damage. Alright, match number 2 here. We're versing In Fiction, who's currently on 1. We lost the Daro, and our opponent is on the play. We're going to keep this hand. It's pretty slow. Think we can do better. Alright, we'll keep this one. Dinch and Ancient Ziggurat, and yeah, the rest of it should be good to go. Opponent with Forest and nothing, like that is way too friendly. This is not the modern I'm used to. Forest and nothing? What? Although this kind of makes me think Infect, what with the artwork and the new Phyrexia symbol. It could be a Blighted Agent and suddenly we're scared. At the moment, we are presenting like a Hate Bears deck. Find a freebooter. Play out the other vial. Just get these champions massive. That seems like a good game plan. We could be punished for not doing freebooter, but I mean, I don't really care. Alright, turn 3 is going to be a critical turn, surely. We're going to see something committed. Infect! Or maybe Hardened Scales. Alright, it's looking a lot like Hardened Scales. Select, trigger, yield, go. Upkeep, we get our triggers. I apparently have to click them both onto the stack. Let's go. 3 for yes. Yes. Also yes. Alright. Oh, hello. Hello. I guess I should be doing this attack step instead of pre-combat. Taking for 5. Do we want to take that up to 7? If we take that up to 7, puts him to 13. Plus we have an extra 2 next turn, which is 9. I think it's like a 3-turn clock no matter what, because they're not dealing damage to themselves. Might just go for the draw step interaction. I'd really like a Thalia's Lieutenant. Thalia's Lieutenant would pretty well win us the game with its like double champion effect, right? Alright, triggers on the stack. Stuff gets revealed twice with Freebooter for some reason. It's really irritating. Alright, what do we got here? Ancient Stirrings, Snakeskin Veil. 1/1 counter on a creature you control against Hexproof until end of turn. Animation module, Arcbound Ravager. So what's their like ideal turn here? They've got access to 3 mana. Why didn't they Stirrings on turn 1? Odd. Less Stirrings was their draws turn 2 and 3. But then they would have had Animation module, which they also could have played. I think they were just playing defensive for some reason. So like, surely Animation module's just the strongest effect, but them getting Hexproof is bad for Reflector Mage. They also can't activate this yet. Alright, let's take the Snakeskin. Oddly enough. Ravager cast. Casting that Ancient Stirrings as well. I mean, he could animation module here. Like, honestly, it's obviously up to him. I just -1 for some reason. I don't know why he's leaving up green mana with Ancient Stirrings in hand. Meddling Mage. You seem good. So if we name like Ancient Stirrings, we'd just shut off 2 of the 3 cards in his hand. Let our opponent make decisions about blocks before we start viling stuff in. Yep. Nope. Yep. Do we really care about 2 tokens when we're going to push through like 6, 9, 12 damage? Not really. So hopefully we can respond to this Arcbound Ravager trigger on the stack before he gets the Thopter tokens. We're going to have to see how this works. He just wants to regenerate? Sure. Uh-huh. You can have it. Oh, I needed to do that before damage. Okay, I'm a dingus. Alright, let's put this into play. Missed out on a bunch of damage there. We should have lethal next turn anyway. My rambled counting was assuming Kitesail Freebirder was a champion of the parish before, so obviously that's not right. Yeah. Cool. Animation module, sure. So opponent can get access to 3 flying creatures here, which is awkward. Ultimately, I still think we're winning that, and Reflector Mage can be used on defense. We can just say no to these effects. Maybe we can say yes to this one in case we draw a 3-drop, and then say always no to this one. Cool, we draw a 3-drop. So obviously, General just anthems the whole board and puts 1/1 counters on all 3 champions. So all of those are worth a lot of damage here. I don't really know what our opponent can do here. I think he Arcbound Ravengers on the Hammerback Walker, animation modules it, and then he has no way to sack it though. He's just got to block with 2 creatures, right? He's on 9 life. This is lethal. We've got 10 damage here. I think you have to pop your Hangerback Walker in this spot, but I don't see how you're winning the game if that's what you're doing. He probably wants to kill Meddling Mage, so if he's looking at sacrificing the Hangerback Walker anyway, it should be getting shifted across here onto Meddling Mage. Triggers! So 3, 5, 9 damage. That's enough. Reflector Mage, not needed. Cool. Alright, game 1. Claimed. We have got Collectorus, we've got Skyclave Apparitions, we've got Night of Autumns. We probably don't need all of those effects, but it's good to know that they're there, right? Or something. I don't know if this is the best game for Unsettled Mariner. I don't think our opponent runs that much removal. I don't know if it's the best game for Militia Bugler either. Reflector Mage, maybe a little bit slow and worse than Night of Autumn. Might remove 1. And I think Thalia's not that good either. 1 more card to remove. Probably Freebirder. Let's get rid of Reflector Mage, actually. Might get rid of both instead of the Thalia. We've got enough interaction with our creatures with everything we're bringing in. We'll Thalia to keep the curve slightly lower and maybe like interact with them dumping their hand super fast. It's like undoubtable though that Thalia is better on the play than what it is on the draw. So we have to be careful with our lands here because we're bringing in Night of Autumn and Skyclave Apparition and Collector Roof, so it's going to be tough. Okay, I'll just keep this. I think. Actually, Tajik's pretty bad. I probably should have removed some copies of that. This hand's like... No, this hand's bad. Now this is more like it. Stubble Meddling Mage is like too greedy. We either bottom land or like a Meddling Mage here, right? Yeah, I think double Meddling Mage is too greedy. And we want double white for Skyclave Apparition. I have to say, I reckon, like, post-sideboard, things actually, become a little bit trickier because all these other creatures that aren't humans can be a liability, right? Alright, that's a good draw. Ziggurat pass. Maybe we draw Earth off the top and we just win. Earth plus Skyclave Apparition must be pretty hard for our opponent to, like, try and get things going with. How many Earth are in the board here? In the deck? Opponent waiting for me to respond. I've got 3 that we sideboarded in. Okay, we have a pretty good chance to see it then. Opponent plays... a Graftland passes turn. Holy shit. So do we name Dismember here? I didn't see any black last game. I think if we name Dismember here, it gives us pretty much the lock with Collector Roof afterwards. The Ozolith's wording is whenever it leaves the battlefield. So it doesn't matter if it's destroyed or exiled, they still get the counters onto it. That's really annoying. Still, our hand is like super OP. This is also a triggered ability, not a activated ability. So Oof won't stop the Ozolith effect. Won't stop the Blink Moth from being active either. Here comes the Arcbound Ravager. Sure. So he probably graphs. Yep, he does. That's understandable. Meddling Mage as well. Fuck. Well, I wanted to just like collect a roof here, but if we Skyclave Apparition, we have like 2/2 drops next turn, which are very impactful. Collector Roof shuts down a lot of the shenanigans though. Like it stops him from like just killing us. With Skyclave Apparition, the Ozolith, or the Arcbound Ravager, it's just way less exciting. And we can't really attack here either. Considering we've got like double human in hand, I don't see a world where it's bad playing the Cavern of Souls here over the Horizon Canopy. If we draw like an Ancient Ziggurat, we can potentially save a point of damage, or like a an unclaimed territory Cavern. Alright, we're on the fat pause now. The fat rage pause, I'm assuming. Alright, let's go. Let's name human. We don't have to, if we don't crack the Horizon Canopy, we don't have to worry about being impacted on these effects. Opponent with the Forest, Worker. That modular is like a triggered ability as well. Ballista. Terrifying. Okay. Well, we still have a good hand, so we'll take 2. That's fine. Not an issue. Interesting. So you get a choice between being mana efficient or impactful here. If we play a Meddling Mage, we can name like Hangerback Walker. Stop that. We could just Anthem our humans, which isn't that great yet. This activated ability seems really difficult for us to activate. Maybe I need to change up my land base slightly to accommodate for it. I think our opponent's like very slow here, and we're fine just getting a lot of value this turn. Where's Hangerback Walker? Hang R. AR? That is weird. Surely it should be ER. Alright. Be mana efficient. They can actually trade with our Meddling Mage here. Or with our Collector Oath. I think given no cards in hand, I'm happy trading the one with Dismember named. I doubt he wants to give up both creatures for that. Oh, that's right. Ozolith triggers. Fuck. I hate this card. So he gets Modular Trigger. He gets Ozolith Trigger. He gets to make the Hangerback or the Arcbound Ravager Giant. Hardened Scales. Fuck. Alright, well that's a good top deck. And maybe a hasty attack from us. We could have slowed that down and just Skyclave Apparition away the Ozolith. That's awkward. I think also Athalia's Lieutenant's like better after we played Tajik. So he's going to go for one big creature here. Surely that would make more sense. You never know. He might put the count. He might try to get tricky. Put the counters on the Hangerback Walker, and then like I'll lift them back. All right. Well, this is the play at the moment. Blink Moth actived. All right. We have a race on our hands, and that one on defense. You gotcha. I think if he animated that earlier, it probably would have been better for him. Again, super awkward. Do we just have to deal with the Ozolith? I think we do. That card's just too hard to beat. So white, one, white, boom. Get rid of that silly legendary artifact. And we don't have a good attack, so we're not going to attack. Animation module. Wow, the gift that keeps on giving. I guess it can't be activated, but it can be triggered. For servo tokens. So triggered ability, not an activated ability. It's mental raid. Whenever this creature attacks, put a 1/1 counter on target attacking creature with less power. So I can grow like a Collector Roof to 3 power. That's not amazing. Grow my Thalia's Lieutenant to 3 power. I might be suiciding the Tajik though. Animate Blink Moth. Yeah, that makes sense. Another Skyclave Apparition to take care of this Ravager would be really nice now. Even though it's not mana efficient. Sure. Crack. Oh, buddy. Alright, I think we win. It's a really good rip. So I can Pendlehaven the Ballista now. To make it a 2/3. But if we attack with both Meddling Mages, we don't lose anything. Cool. Great draw. We did side 4 of the suckers in. Opponent plays a forest and doesn't have many options left, unfortunately. I once got like ridiculed for calling humans a hate bear like tribal deck, but literally that is all that it is. Like, because what am I doing at the moment? Completely locking my opponent out for free. Oh, we should remove Ether Vials if we bring in the Collector Reefs. That's really bad of me. I should have realized that. We could have had more creatures here. I think we can attack with everything. We'll mentor the Collector Roof. So if he wants to kill Collector Roof with his 2 creatures, he's going to take all the other damage. He has Pendlehaven active. Currently we've got 3, 6, 9, 11, 13, 15, 18 damage. So we've got 18 damage. It's more than lethal. My opponent blocks any 3-drop. We're still doing 15 damage. So he has to block 1 and 1. And he probably wants to trade with like one of our Skyclave apparitions to get a jump blocker for next turn. Or actually, he probably wants to take Thalia's Lieutenant. No, Thalia's Lieutenant is secondary to Skyclave Apparition. We just have this. Just a matter of time. So what's this, you to 1 or 2? We've got 12 damage. This is him to 2 life, and he doesn't kill either of our creatures. Green board wipe, maybe. Green 4 mana board wipe. Opponent concedes. Alright. We had too many hate pieces there. We're definitely fortunate to draw that second Skyclave Apparition after maybe misplaying a turn or 2 earlier. But hitting that to get rid of the 5 power and toughness Hangerback Walker, no, Walking Ballista was, no, not Walking Ballista, Arcbound Ravager was clutch. Alright, match number 3. We lost the die roll. Opponent on the play. Opponent mulligans to 6. This is like okay if we're against a counterspell deck, but we see Lura, so it's likely a shadow deck. I think we can do better. We will keep this one. I'm gonna bottom a Vial, even though Thoughtseize take away Ether Vial is like bad for us. We have like 2 draws to hit a land, and then we've got like really good stuff going on, so. Opponent with Mishra's Bauble targeting us. Here comes a discard effect. One of the few players, surprisingly, that does that. Wait, what? In what next is Hammer Time. Oh boy, we're versing a Hammer Time deck. I'm terrified now. I don't think this hand is good in that spot. Yeah, we got like terrible interaction for Hammer Time. Dark Confidant. And now I'm confused. Always yield. Click the yes. Land. Land. Give us fucking tempo, man. Rip. Alright. Well, opponent's Dark Confidant just gets to do whatever the hell it wants now. Sigarda's Aid with Dark Confidant. Right. I'm quite scared of that. Give her runes, sure. Attack, you coward! Alright, opponent has more brain than cowardice. Put that one on down. Trigger land, thank you. Trigger on the stack. Okay, we have to stack the triggers, then trigger on the stack. We do this. Yes. This one. Click, click. Always yes, always yes. Always yes. So, attack for 5. We're not going to get to do that for very long. We're likely dead to Colossus Hammer on the Inkmoth Nexus. And literally we don't have the interaction with it. Steel Shaper's Gift. See Hammer and Concede. Sure. Cool. Quick game's a good game. Alright, well here I like the effects of Skyclave Apparition, Knight's Autumn, and actually Plague Engineer is good as well. So the Plague Engineer, I can name whatever 1 toughness creature they want to equip. And for example, I name Blinkmoth, and their Inkmoth Nexus will die before they get to equip it, which is really nice. Opponent not really dealing damage to us. Tajik seems a bit slow. Unsettled Mariner might be good to handle our opponent's removal, but it might just be a little bit worse than other effects we have. Thalia is probably okay on the play, but on the draw I'll look to be taking it out. I think Bugler can be boarded out reasonably easily. I like General Kudrow because it can actually kill their creature after Hammer hits. So we're looking to bring in 9. Currently we've got 8 cards to be taken out here. I think I'll remove 1 General Kudrow for mana efficiency, and we'll submit that and get into it. Let's see what kind of a difference being on the play makes here. Double Plague Engineer, it's a little bit slow. We would need to hit a land as well. Can turn to a Thalia's Lieutenant, no turn 1. Like, I really don't feel comfortable keeping a hand which isn't like super proactive and fast. I think we can do better. Like, we can even do like Noble Hierarch into a turn 2 effect. This seems better. I'm gonna keep. I think I ditched the Thalia's Lieutenant. It's gonna make my mana less awkward later on. And this way we have turn 2 Noble Hierarch. Turn 1 Noble Hierarch into, if we hit land, turn 2 Skyclave Apparition. If we don't hit land, Thalia plus Champion of the Parish and get like a trigger on the champion. So I think this is the best combination of that 7. Springleaf Drum, sure. 0 drop, sure. Reasons why Giver of Runes is bad, all these 2 toughness creatures. Alright, might as well cut Sail Freebooter and have a look. Take away the Sagada's Aid. And they have a lot of trouble putting the Steel Shaper's Gift onto the battlefield, whatever they get. Mish's Bobble off top. Alright, well that Lurus is looking pretty good right now. Lurus to hand. Looks pretty OP. But they miss a land drop, so they can't do that? Okay, never mind. Mish's Bobble targeting himself. I think he wants to Steel Shaper's Gift before he does that, although maybe not. Maybe this is fine. Alright, he Steel Shaper's Gift afterwards. He's willing to shuffle it. Finds the hammer. Sure, makes sense. Minimum value off the Thalia there. Cool, if we ever hit a land. Can't attack, our opponent will just fog it with Giver. Double Skyclave Apparition is obviously very good though. Opponent hits marsh flats. Triple Skyclave Apparition. Alright, my deck's trolling me. Attacks. Might actually cycle his Silent Clearing here, potentially. Opponent Fox 3 damage, understandable. Does not crack Silent Clearing. I guess he's going to go for Luris plus Misha's Bobble, which is entirely reasonable. We literally need to hit any land drop here. Shadow Spear drawn and hardcast. Hammer as the known card in hand. He can equip, but then can't, like, block Fog. He does equip. Fuck me, man. Well, we'll go ahead and buff up this Thalia. And then buff up our other two guys. Attack for as much as we can. Again, hope to hit land. So we can't go after our opponent's creature here, like Aluris, because of Giver of Runes. Could go after Giver of Runes, could go after a Hammer. Opponent concedes. Well, they're on 6, so I guess that hand just does it. Strangely enough. I think Collectorove might still be overboarding. I said that I think that Thalia might be less good on the play. On the draw, sorry, than what it is on the play. Let's remove Thalia for Oof, I suppose. And we're not really much of a human deck at the moment. We're more of like a creature toolbox deck. Still, the record is speaking for itself. So we have like 2 lots of interaction and an Ether Vial. Enough lands to cast everything. We're going to keep. Sigarda's Aid, makes sense. Find the Collector's Oof. Oh, I don't mind that at all. Name something different with all these lands pretty well because our Ether Vial is going to do stuff. Hopefully our opponent doesn't have the turn 2 kill. It's not the turn 2 kill, but it's a troubling one. Alright, we're taking 10. Scary. Always yes. Always good, always yes. Okay, well. I mean, if we can somehow survive till the next turn, we can get there. So this is all going to be about surviving till the next turn. I'll name Night here for our Night of Autumn. I'll Vial the Champion of Parish into play. Then I'll cast Kitesail Freebooter. Show us what you got, opponent. Cranial Plating plus Steel Shaper's Gift. I guess we take the Steel Shaper's Gift so we're not just dead to a land. Cranial Plating equipped. Doesn't quite kill us yet. Night of Autumn kill that. Yeah, okay. Misha's bobbled down. Jump it up. Paladin on the battlefield. Opponent going long. Let's get ready for all that. Parish off the top. Alright, well we get a pretty free attack here. If this trades with Pure Steel Paladin, obviously we're happy. If not, name Knight again. So we have our green, we have our white, we have our colorless, we have the cast. Now, if our opponent looks to do anything too fancy, we can collect Roof in response. Sure, so he's just spent a mana doing this, and now we can deny him casting the Cranial Plating. So Springleaf Drum would be the draw for turn. And if he wants to attack with Pure Steel Paladin, I'll absolutely trade the Knight of Autumn for it. Ornithopter, yep. We can deal with Sagada's Aid. It's going to be very hard for him to do everything he wants to. Still Shape his Gift. Hammer. Scary. Alright, we need an effect. We need it now. We'll tick this one up. It is not the effect we are looking for. We can't even cast like both these things, which is super lame. If he goes for like an Ornithopter kill, we can actually Plague Engineer to shrink it down by 1 and see 1 extra turn. And then like block the Pure Steel Paladin and Death Touch and all that. No blocks. Are you going for it? You are going for it. Sure. So he should do this main phase so that if he draws a land, he can play the Cranial Plating as well, and then he doesn't get shut up by Plague Engineer, but this is pretty niche. We have like a pretty reasonable counterattack here too. Opponent, it looks like they're playing around Mantis Rider a little bit there. Oh wait, our Aether Vial is shut off by our own Collector. Okay, well we just lose. Never mind. Alright. I understand the game now. So we Plague Engineer there instead of Champion of the Parish and only attack for 2 instead of 3. And next card was... And it's not wanting to draw us a card. Alright, let's get into the next match. So maybe if we play that slightly better... Like our opponent has information at that point if we play the Plague Engineer Sorcery Speed, but I think we have to. He also actually does have to play the Colossus Hammer Instant Speed because it plays around us blocking with the 1/1 Champion of the Parish that we cast. Wait, could we even cast Plague Engineer there? Didn't we have 3 Cavern of Souls / Territory lands, 1 on Human and 2 on Knight? So I don't think we could even play Plague Engineer after we played Collector Roof. Maybe I missequenced the Oath, and that was a bit greedy. We played it in response to their Springleaf Drum while our Vial was on 2. I think it was just an awkward hand. Let's not forget that our opponent did turn to attack for 10. Like, it's a pretty big attack. So far, we're flying through this league, though. Both leagues, actually. We're 8 matches down, 2 to go. And usually I finish up around 10 or 10:30, but we might have some spare time at the end of this. So I guess if you guys have got any deck list questions, you can send them through. I'll answer them to the best as I can. We can get some like other magic discussion going if you want as well. Alright, match number 4, versing Bronson. Lost the gyro. Opponent chooses to play first. We're going to keep this hand. Lead on Noble Hierarch. And then we can do all that other stuff. Fun! Prowess is fun. I like prowess, it's fun. Hooray. Alright. We're at Lava Dart's mercy right now. Every time. It's not a Lava Dart, but it still, you know, does the job right. It's literally in there for killing creatures. Meddling Mage. I don't mind it. I think if he had Lava Dart, he would have played it, so we can name Lightning Bolt on this one, or potentially Manamorphose. I think we're just better off naming the Lightning Bolt, protecting our board. Now, if we resolve General Kudrow, we're out of range of Lava Dart as well, or at least one Lava Dart. Opponent 2 cards in hand. Unsorted Mariner off the top. Kind of still like the General here. No, that's wrong. Parish plus Mariner is just better in most scenarios. It grows the champion like earlier, and if he has kill spell for Meddling Mage, he can do it anyway. This taxes them a lot more. It's like highly tempting. Let's cast. We'll name Lava Dart if we get given the chance, and that really shuts down our opponent's kill effects. Cool. Trigger. I think we can now attack with the champion of the parish. It's kind of bad against Opt, but I guess we'll just concede that fact. We can also cycle the Horizon Canopy end step here. And then still lead into a General Kudrow. Alright, Expressive Iteration. Do I get to see any of these cards, or are they just like exiled face down? What's the go? Remember I tried to undo with this card once, and somehow I just lost a card, which was very bizarre. Opponent is scared of these Meddling Mage. Mantis Rider off the top. Another Mantis Rider. Jesus, man. What's the wording on Wild Slash? If you control a creature with power 4 or greater, it can't be prevented. 2 damage to any target. Right. But he can't do that there, so this is the best time where we can General Kudrow. And Wild Slash is an instant. Can get countered. I think Meddling Mages on defense is still the best line. Attack for 8. Maybe not. Alright, we'll attack with everything. The attack with the Meddling Mages could be hasty because there's a world where he maybe has a Wild Slash here and combo's really hard. Alright, we put him to 1. Needs to deal 14 damage this turn without Lava Dart or Lightning Bolt. Could chain some like Swift Spear into Manamorphose. That could definitely do the trick. Whew. Okay, we got there. Wow. Alright, so I tend to take out like Noble Hierarchs in this matchup. Skyclave Apparitions, reasonable. Auriok Champion's very good. Don't really see anything else being that good. We could bring in Knight of Autumn for life gain, but honestly, it's not fantastic. Maybe like a maximum of 2 copies. Take out. So this means like Ether Vial hands are just way more valuable than what like Noble Hierarch hands are, but that's kind of obvious. Bugler's reasonable but slow. I think Tajik is like very, very good. Reflector Mage is maybe slow, but it's actually good against some of their top end. Don't think I want Knight of Autumn. I'm not seeing enough effects that I want to take out, so maybe like Champion of the Parish and possibly a land as well. I might minus the Silent Clearing here. Yeah, I get we're taking out a lot of mana effects here, but they're likely to kill our creatures. The game's likely to go long. This just seems kind of bad, right? Got like no action, opponent keeping a 7. Auriok Champion's good. We need to like draw extremely well for this hand to be good. I think we just throw it. Where this one, it's probably just good regardless. We'll keep. I think we ditch Champion of the Parish and then we go turn 2 Auriok Champion, Freebooter, Meddling Mage. Could be greedy. Maybe I want to ditch General because I've got Mantis Rider anyway. Oh, we'll ditch General. It's fine. Break on land drop every time. I get rid of this fucking comment. I don't. Okay, cool. Manamorphose attack. Probably a 2-mana creature here as well. Stormwing Entity. Alright, we're very behind here. We are very behind. Cool. I guess we'll Champion of the Parish, but like we missed land drop like twice, and that's really unfortunate. We actually have a pretty, not a great chance, but a reasonable chance if we resolve Auriok Champion there. Here comes Lava Dart for free effects. Alright, whatever. We'll just concede this one, go into the next game. We're not winning. That's fine. Land? No land. Look, we got punished for taking out like that Silent Clearing. What a fool we are. Take out like 1 general. Alright, get back into it. Double Auriok Champion with... Okay, this is like just a million times better and more on the play. Human. Boom. So like pain-free land base is nice as well. Pain-free land base is very nice. Sure. Name human. Why is this so hard to click the buttons? What is going on, deck? Orc champion, pass. It's the weirdest interaction where it doesn't let me retrospectively, like, say yes to all of that. So we're a little bit worried about Kozilek's return, actually. You want to, like, lava dart me? Go for it. Oh, seems reasonable. We want to see a bottom here. Top. Swell. Perfect. That's actually really good. I'm like, why is... Okay, I need to click that. I'm like losing a life gain here, but I'm also hedging my bet against Kozilek's return, which I don't hate. Deal some sort of damage here. Sure, lava dart away. Plus Stormwing entity. I missed a life gain again. Whatever. We'll let him scry and we'll do it second main now. Sorry, end step now. One top, one bottom. So now I like missed 2 life gain there. That's bad against mutagenic growth. I think if he spends mutagenic growth here, I'm pretty happy anyway, though. Flashes back lava dart. Okay, same difference. I'm like still pretty happy about that. I'm also playing like awfully. The fact that Oriok champion didn't block that. Champion the parish, right on time. Play a bugler, trigger. Yield, Skyclave apparition on top. Always yes. No good attacks here. So like Stormwing Entity is just a monster right now. Opponent Manamorphose, sure. We do have 2 more Reflector Mages to try and deal with it, if we can hit them. We know about the Monastery Swiftspear. Our opponent's probably going to be playing this game. Okay, Stormwing Entity. Fucking hell, man. Things are obnoxious as fuck. Why is this working like this? Like, Sprite Dragons we're fine against as well. It's literally just a Stormwing Entity, which is the biggest roadblock ever. Find Horizon Canopy. Honestly, that's pretty uninspiring. Let's cycle it. Look for something actually good. Now that is better. Stack all our triggers here. Get rid of a Stormwing Entity. Not the best use ever, but at least our opponent's only got one creature to attack with next turn. We put them to 9. We're getting them low. Another Skyclave Apparition, which can deal with the Swift Spear. And then we can swarm the ground. It might happen. We might get there. We're like really soft to lots of removal spells on all our creatures though. Yeah, sure. Interestingly enough, he's not going after Skyclave Apparition there. Mantis Rider off the top. Not a Mantis Rider. So currently we've got access to 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 damage. It's not lethal. We lose a guy. So let's say he blocks the Skyclave Apparition. We will then push across 6 damage and put our opponent to 3. Then got access to Stormwing Entity and potentially a Monastery Swift Spear as blocks. We might struggle to get the last points of damage here. I think it's worth going for. I'd really like a companion like Gigantha at this point, but obviously we couldn't play it with Skyclave Apparition anyway. Okay, well, Lightning Bolt is really bad for us. Because now they get a token that blocks an Auriok Champion. We gain some life off the token though. We're going to get him like close to dead, but not enough. I guess I should play around Lightning Bolt there. Go 4, put him to 4. It's not very good. I guess it's just a bad attack. I guess it's just a bad attack. We have General Kidro there. We actually can destroy the Stormwing Entity in response to all of that. Expressive Iteration off the top. Let's see if our opponent hits that land. Swift Spear into Exile Zone. No lands? Did you really just brick on land drop again, opponent? Oh god, maybe I should have put... If I put Skyclave Apparition in, then I actually won. Alright, I'm a fool. I'm tired and I'm playing bad. Put our opponent to 1. They can't tap Fiery Islet. It seems decent. And then we've got Violent Apparition plus Violent Apparition during our next turn. Sure. Opponent probably has to attack with Swift Spear here. Assume we're holding lands, or else he just doesn't win. Alright, just... Bloop, bloop. 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 And concedes. Let's go! Draw for turn was a lieutenant. Hey, we're actually going to hit a human. Alright, we didn't play that super optimally, but turns out our board was just like way too good, so didn't matter how terribly I sequenced everything. Let's go. Alright, so 3-1, let's go. Not bad. Feeling good. And yeah, so far, I mean, Unsettled Mariner has felt pretty reasonable. I haven't really liked Tajik so far, personally. I think if we could activate the first strike easier, maybe I'd like it more, but at the moment it's just a haste 3-power creature with a static uptick, which stops lightning bolts and things on your other creatures. Alright, match number 5, people. Let's go. Won the die roll. We are on the play, and this hand is a keep. Let's go. Seems good. I'm very excited. We're versing Mate 8 point, and we're going to let him know what's happening. We're going to name humans straight off the bat and get that Ether Vial into play. Elvish Reclaimer. It is a Titan deck we are versing. Okay, well, this will be a pretty good test for us. If we ever get our trigger, if we ever get our upkeep trigger, come on, man. Put our humans into play, pass the turn. So I think this hand would have been a lot better with like a champion of the parish, but I think it's going to be too slow here. Oh, we just miss in literally every way imaginable. Alright, we attack. Our opponent hopefully doesn't block. We'll pretend we're debating him. Getting that one juicy point of damage. Let's go. And now he ramps, and we are scared. We are very scared. It's like completely different if we have a Reflector Mage here off of a Noble Hierarch instead of an Ether Vial. We can turn to a Reflector Mage as a Reclaimer, destroy his tempo, and then just unload with Mantis Riders. Like, it actually makes a ridiculous difference that our hand lines up really poorly here in this matchup. At least in my opinion. So hopefully he's delayed off of Titan for at least one more turn. Cast a second Reclaimer. Okay. I think we get our wish, and maybe we get to empty some 3-drops. Valakut. Yep. So no Dryad of Elysian Grove. I'm reading from this he probably has prime time though. Champion of the parish, right on time here. I should probably have Mantis Rider in play at this point. I think I fucked up. Am I going to get any value off Reflector Mage? Am I better off doing a Bugler to maybe a 1-drop and buffing Thalia? Yeah, we really need the Mantis Rider in play here. My brain has turned to absolute mush. Let's Militia Bugler. Go to our triggers. Literally miss. Unlucky team. Unlucky. Literally the reason I was doing Champion Parish pre-combat was so I could Mantis Rider pre-combat. And yeah, we just don't get either off then. Alright, opponent sacking, getting their lands, getting prime time. We can maybe bounce prime time to hand or delay our opponent for long enough. Maybe. We're going to want to see a land off the top though, so we can at least Mantis Rider as well. Reflector Mage plus Mantis Rider, big attacks. You know the drill. A fucking Savvy Triome. Not really what I was expecting. Is opponent literally 4 colors here? They've got the green there, yeah. Looks like our opponent's 4 colors. 5 colors, sorry. Cleansing Wildfire is own land. Sure. Buffing up these Elvish Reclaimers. Do they get Death Touch now as well? No, it's just +2/+2. We have to be scared of like Skyclave Apparitions, Path to Exiles as well. I don't really think we get to play around much. Training Molest. The deck is so clunky with all the 3-drops, man. Like, I mean, I've literally drawn all my 3-drops, dude. Let's go pile view here. I've got 13 3-drops. I've got 16 2-drops. And I've got Noble Hierarchs to help ramp as well. I've just drawn all of my top end, man. This game has definitely been clunky, but overall it's been going pretty well for me. Yes to this one. Always no to this one. Alright, finally. Something good. Get our triggers. So currently we've got 5, 8, 12 damage on the board. Ether Vial. Unfortunately, not every deck can be like Bogles and have like a million 1-drops. And also I messed up last turn and missed 3 points of damage. Opponent gets to take 8 here, and I mean, let's see what they have. They didn't even activate their Elvish Reclaimers to thin the deck and get more lands or anything. Cycles Triome. Okay, that makes sense, I suppose. Gotta love Mantis Rider Tomb. Yeah, absolutely. Mantis Rider is OP as all heck. he's fantastic. Is a Thalia's Lieutenant out of range of Lightning Bolt. Apparently, my opponent who's running Reclaimer Titan has main deck Supreme Verdict. Just because. Keep this file on 2 for now, I think. Your draw step, name Primeval Titan. Oh, maybe it's end step. End step, and then we can get Lightning Bolt. Okay. Let's chill for a sec. Opponent tapping 4 mana here, mostly red. Now I'm confused. It doesn't even seem like Amulet Titan anymore. It just seems like some sort of wacky Scapeshift deck. Like, Alright, we have a pretty critical moment with Meddling Mage here. We can name something like Valky. Or the other side of Valky, however that works. No, we just have to name Scapeshifts off this. Oh, wait, he went for 3 colors. He was just going for Dryad of Elysian Grove all along. Alright. Let's bounce in response. Yeah, I named Scapeshift, but he went for Dryad of Elysian Grove here. With these triggers on the stack, we can now bounce Dryad of Elysian Grove. Fizzle the triggers. Yeah, it was on 3 colors, I swear, which is weird. I guess I should have seen that and just named Dryad of Elysian Grove and then just screwed him off. But yeah, I'm very confused about that. I just assumed it was for 5 because, like, look at his mana base. He's got every color in the rainbow. Everything except colorless. So opponent taps the planes for green mana there. No follow-up. Alright, well, let's see how we draw. Get another buy. Yeah, it's fine. It's not enough. So my guess is this is just like an Omnath variant, and for some reason it has Elvish Reclaimer, and I'm very confused as to what that reason could be. Alright, let's see what sort of blocks and everything they can put up. I think they're still switched off Dryad of Elysian Grove. No, they're not. Okay, never mind. We possibly lose all our guys. Yeah. I can't, like, violin the champion anyway, so it's just sad. Alright, dead to Scapeshift now. Opponent is all the way down to 2. This is so unfortunate. It's a hard game. Alright, we'll get to sideboarding. So both Skyclave Apparition and Night of Autumn kill Dryad of Elysian Grove, but Skyclave Apparition also kills Elvish Reclaimer, which makes me think it could be half decent. Have to be scared of Supreme Verdict, which is something to note. We probably also have to be scared of Lightning Bolts, right? Actually, this is one of the few effects that's going to stop Valakut's from pinging my creatures. I like that. That's really good. I think, like, Bugler is probably a bit slow. And Reflector Mage most of the time is going to be worse than Skyclave Apparition. Then maybe it's just like a general Kudro, and yeah, we'll go with that. General can kill Primeval Titan and Omnath. We don't have any other ways to deal with Omnath. Maybe I'll keep a general in over the Skyclave, over the Unsettled Mariner. I think this is probably fine if our opponent doesn't have turn 1 Lightning Bolt. But like, then even our turn 2 is just still like a 2 mana thing. And then turn 3, Thalia's Lieutenant. I'm definitely not in love with this hand. Let's throw it. Yeah, I think we keep this one. Dear Chernobyl Hierarch. Get into it. At least we have Ether Vial here, which is good for tempo. Last hand didn't have Ether Vial. Reclaimer, Elvish Reclaimer. Here he is. Ready to ruin all the fun. Alright, not a bad draw. Definitely makes me sad that I didn't lead on Noble Hierarch though, but whatever. Because Noble Hierarch into Bounce Reclaimer is just fantastic tempo. Trigger. Yes. Plop. Oh, hold the phone. We just got a Mantis Rider. Let's go. Blue, white, red. I love it. I absolutely love it. What a top deck. And he blocks opponent. Of course not. Wait, really? Activate. Anthem board. Let's go. I'm kind of surprised he's blocking with that. He must have a pretty good hand if he's doing that. They could have Verdict next turn. Yeah, true. I mean, how am I beating that though? They've got the double white. They're like a blue short now. A blue or a white mana short of Verdict. Dried of very unusually and very unusual sexual powers. Yeah, this is like the weirdest artwork I think I've seen in a long time. It's bizarre, dude. But no Verdict, so that makes me happy. So currently 5, 6, 8 damage plus 4. We have 12 damage on board. Thalia's Lieutenant off the top would win it for us. Short of Path to Exile, Lightning Helix, Lightning Bolt. I guess Lightning Helix doesn't work, so it has to be Path or Bolt. Okay. Makes things easier for our opponent. Take up the vial. Nice big attack for 12. Yep. He blocks 3 of it. Oh, sorry, it's 13 actually. And he can block 3. We missed a mental counter there, but it's fine. Literally just dodging verdict. Alright. This looks bad. Bring to light, supreme verdict. Is he pulling my leg or did he tap wrong? Alright, at this point it's just like wasting the clock, I'm pretty sure. Either he wins or he doesn't. He concedes. Okay, cool. Begin sideboarding. Thalia stops, bring to light. Ah! Good point, man. Good point, training list. Give us a sec. You may cast that card without paying its mana cost. So Bring to Light would cost 6, and then the Supreme Verdict on top would cost 1 extra. Okay. Thalia OP. I think Mariner seems decent. Maybe I minus a general. Or a Reflector Mage in that spot. I really want, like, my Kite Sail Freebooters and my Meddling Mages. I want, like, pretty much all my 2-mana creatures, which we get, but we don't get a land. Alright, let's go to 6. Keep. My bottom the Horizon Canopy here. So we can, like, turn 2 Meddling Mage, name Dryad of Lycian Grove, and then turn 3 Freebooter or attack the hand, I think. Unsettled Mariner is not too bad. Definitely would be easier with an Aether Vial in this spot. I think we just Freebooter, otherwise we're just guessing, and there's no real need to guess. Maybe there's just like some god name I'm supposed to do with Meddling Mage there in the blind. So we can take Lightning Bolt or Rip Apart. I guess we'll take Lightning Bolt because it's more mana efficient. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Sagada Host of Herons. Odd. Rip Apart is cast. Flagstones is played. Fun Meddling Mage. Lightning Bolt in hand. Alright, we can name Lightning Bolt. How many bolts do they run? Probably all 4. It's you know, it's probably 6 to 8 copies of Lightning Bolt and Path to Exile that the deck runs. A combination of those cards depending on like the pilot's construction choice. I remember the early stages of this deck were running Path to Exile, and they were also running Skyclave Apparition, but they seem to have moved away from the Skyclave Apparition for a Bring to Light package, and away from Path to Exile because it's pretty bad against Prowess, where Lightning Bolt is pretty good against Prowess. A whole bunch of unknown cards. They have a Sagata here they can cast. Not that scared of Sagata, I don't think. Do we just freeboot her again? Like, Sagata slows us down, but it doesn't win the game. I think we've got, like, enough effects that we can just lock our opponent out, most likely. Meddling Mage is probably better, though. We want to either name Path to Exile or Bring to Light. I think we name Bring to Light. Could just be a Supreme Verdict we name, though. But then Bring to Light shuts off Scape Shift if the game goes long. I think we can beat a Bring to Light on its own. Opponent just typed sorry to me, which probably means he has like Path Verdict. I don't know. I'm confused as to why he just typed sorry. He was not playing like slow or anything. Anger of the Gods? Yeah. Gotcha. So Freebirder was the play, I suppose. He had the anger in hand. Lame sauce. Let's rebuild. We have the technology. Do I think I'm blind naming anger there? If we just like double Unsettled Mariner, it makes it harder for him to cast his bolt, but not impossible. It just costs 3. Unsettled Mariner is like good late game as well for his Valakut triggers. Probably Sagata in this spot. It's definitely a sideboard card for them. Anger, yeah, of course. I'm not sure what Sagata's doing in here. That's very confusing. Oh, could this hand be any more awkward, dude? So we can take Lightning Bolt. He can Lightning Bolt in response. He's got Scape Shift and Bring to Light. Right. So we've got 3, 4, 5, 6 lands. So he can't just scapeshift, but then like Sagata provides a clock where scapeshift is realistically going to be an issue for us. He can bring to light for Dryad of Elysian Grove, and then he can't quite scapeshift still. This sucks. I think we take the Bring to Light because it gets Dryad of Elysian Grove. What is going on? Choose target opponent. Him. Always yield. Alright, so Bring to Light back in hand. I probably shouldn't have clicked it off that thing then. Yeah, if we actually like curve out, we're in with a decent shot, but literally hitting nothing of relevance here. Sagata is extremely odd for them to have in post board against me because I don't make them sacrifice anything. Fucking Jesus, man. He probably goes after Ether Vial here. Goes on the defense. Literally all this game would have taken was curving out. We didn't need other creatures. Just what it is. I guess we had a critical play with the freebooter where we got angered. Cool. So you know how this like just gets to enter at the wrong side? Surely that means I can just Skyclave Apparition it away, right? I mean, of course it doesn't mean that, but I mean, wouldn't it be nice? Like, wouldn't it be nice if something went our way? Oh well, we had a good run this leg. We still end up going 3-2, and that's all. Pretty Gucci. Ah, Dryad of Elysian Grove, naturally drawn. Nice. Nice work. Now he can exile, he can, you know, potentially look for a free land and escape shift. He hits the Reclaimer instead. We're still in it. Technically. Oh, he takes Athalia's Lieutenant. Joy. Like, how are we ever attacking and winning here? Can Skyclave Apparition away the Dryad. Mantis Rider doesn't let us attack yet. This Tybalt is still just sitting there. Oh, he's attacking in the air? Alright, I'll take the damage. Land, and we can actually get back into this. I think. Wait. So now we have literally every option at our disposal. We have a guaranteed killed on Tybalt. And then the rest of our opponent's board could potentially be a problem. He also has active Daybreak Coronet from next turn. Ah, that's so bad. We're going to have to give him another plus on the Tybalt, I think. Can make him lose all his creatures to save the Tybalt. I guess so. A life total is getting like extremely threatened here, and he can probably just scape shift and kill us, honestly. I think this is just doomed off the back of that Anger of the Gods. We hit our one of General Kudrow. We can Thalia's Lieutenant, Violin the Kudrow, and have a big enough Mantis Rider that we can block Sagata with Mantis and trade. It's not great to do that with Mantis Rider though. Currently 6, 3, 4, 5, 6 lands. So Valakut plus 5 mountains will give him Valakut triggers, enough to kill us. Unsettled Mariner might make them cost extra though. Plays a Thalia of ours. Oh joy. There's some meddling mages there as well. So much room for activities. If you can play these meddling mages as well and they're not exiled for some other reason, I'd definitely go ahead and name Thalia's Lieutenant and just shut me off that. Take 4. Visible Cringe. I mean, what the fuck can we do against a Tybalt, man? Being protected by Sagata. This should not be this much of a lock, but it is. Sack a Canopy. Kudrow. That's something at least. Attack our opponent. Attack Tybalt, attack a Tybalt, attack our opponent. Alright, we killed Tybalt no matter what. After throwing all these resources away. Opponent gets free chump blocks. Probably taking out Mantis Rider, maybe Unsettled Mariner. I think Sagata just kills us over 2 turns though. I can't see any other lines we had which would have had it for us. Omnath as well. Dude. These card draws are insane. Bant is a wizard. Alright, that's gonna about do this one. Let's cycle this, see what we find. Amazing. Oh well, we still got 3 and 2, and I mean the early turns of that game were really awkward for a lot of reasons. But yeah, I think Humans is still in a decent place at the moment. Definitely a better place than what Bogles is in. And yeah, I think for the most part I liked Unsettled Mariner. I don't think I like having 3 copies of Freebooter. Sorry, 2 copies of Freebooter. I think it needs to be at least 3. This Tajik Legion's Edge just seems a little bit cute to me. I think I'm going to just remove it from the list altogether. That gives us room for like another Thalia, and then we can have 3 Thalia, 3 Kitesail Freebooter, and go back to being more like humans. Seems good to me. Lisha Bugler is sort of like in the fetch slot with General Kudra there. Sideboard wise... Oh wait, oh shoot. I've got you guys all on the wrong screen. Apologies. Magic Online. Sorry about that. So yeah, the main deck's sort of looking this way at the moment. We got rid of 2 of that Rajit. For an extra Freebooter, an extra Thalia, taking those numbers up to 3 and 3. Otherwise, I think the main deck's pretty good. Sideboard wise, I really do feel like I like Oof. I think Oof is a good inclusion here. Having another 2 mana creature is very, very nice for us. I think Night of Autumn is too awkward because it overlaps with Skyclave Apparition too much, and I don't like that. I think I want a different card over Night of Autumn, but I'm not sure what yet. And maybe Plague Engineer is awkward as well because it's a lot of 3 mana. But yeah, that's going to be it from me, guys. Thank you all so much for coming by, stopping, and watching. I do hope you enjoyed the league. As always, let me know what you think about the deck in the comment section. I'd love to hear from you all. In the world of Stormwing Entity not playing for Reflector Mage seems sus. Yeah, that's probably a fair point, training molest. I did actually have 3 in the main deck and 1 in the sideboard, so I think there's an argument between playing the 4th in the sideboard or the main deck there, maybe for the Bugler. But yeah, Night of Autumn just seems too slow for life gain and too weak for artifact destruction. I don't know, it just doesn't feel good to me. Any other thoughts, training? Yes, we have like options for like Containment Priest as well. Doesn't seem like super amazing to me. Are there any like more asymmetrical effects that we can have? Let's like look at creatures with CMC of 2 maybe. Modern. Type of creature and converted mana cost. Mana value, because they had to go ahead and change the wording. What's in my collection here? Why not 4 Oriox in the sideboard? Yeah, I mean, we can go 4 Oriox, that's fine. It's possibly better than, like, Night of Autumn, honestly. I think it gets, like, maybe a little bit dicey. I just wanted to have, like, a bit more diversity, but I really didn't like the diversity as it played out. We're still, like, bad against Kozilek's Return, but whatever. That's fine. Your opponent can't cast spells from anywhere other than their hands. Maybe Draneth? Possibly Selfless Spirit, even though it's a spirit and not a human or anything. But we got Skyclave Apparitions. There's overlap there, right? Grand Abolisher could be a good one as well. Or Core Firewalker. I guess those are like all our different options for the sideboard. And I can have a think about what I want, but there's a lot more there at like converted mana cost of 2 than what I was originally given credit for. But yeah, that's going to be it from me tonight, guys. I do thank you very much for stopping by. Have a wonderful day. I'll see you next time. Thoughts on Dismember? Yeah, Dismember is fine, but like, is it what we want against Prowess? Probably not. I think at the moment the life might be reasonably costly. Definitely, like, people have played Dismember in the past, and it's been quite a staple in the sideboard. It just depends on what you want to go for. Like, if you're bringing it in against a Prowess deck, it's probably not what I would want to be doing. I would argue there's spots where it's probably better than Plague Engineer, though. Plague Engineer really hasn't impressed me while it's been here. I think I'd probably run 2 Dismember before I run like 2 Plague Engineer again. 4 Skyclave Apparition is possibly excessive. I just don't like Knight of Autumn at all. Yeah, maybe something like that while deciding what we don't want. It's an idea. It's an idea. Yeah, alright, that's going to be me, guys. Thanks so much for stopping by. Thanks for chatting it.